Does an animated film need dialogue to be truly enjoyable? After watching this movie, I finally know the answer. Now let's get started on my review of Flow. Let's go.
From the town I like nothing when I'm hopefuls live. A small city or something, but mostly no one forgets. On the outskirts of where I've been dreaming since a kid. Thought I was cursed to never see a radio hit, a Grammy the industry or something even close. Miles outside of
What's going on all my flicksters? This is Jacey and I just finished watching Flow. Now before I do start my review, please note this will be a spoiler-free review just in case you haven't seen it yet. Currently showing on Fandango at Home, Apple TV, and Amazon Prime for rent. Also, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on more new animated movies that I'm reviewing just like this. So let me start this review off by saying, yes, this is a dialogue-free animated movie, you guys. That means there are no words said in this movie. It isn't a silent film because there are noises, growls, hisses, animal noises, environmental noises, etc. But no human or animal is talking in this film. So this experience makes it unique in itself. And going into it, I did not know what to expect. I had heard whispers and talks about this film being one of 2024's best, but there weren't many theaters showing this film towards the later end of last year. So once I heard it was on Fandango at Home, Apple TV, and even Amazon Prime for rent, I went ahead and rented it. And boy, was I not disappointed. So just to briefly explain the story, not to be confused with the video game Stray. Yes, I played that video game, but this is totally different. This 3D CG animated feature is directed by Latvian filmmaker Gins Zilbaladalis, and he opens and closes with animals gazing into a reflective puddle of water, an image that carries a profound sense of foreshadowing for the whole film. These amazing scenes frame a journey that explores the delicate balance between individualism and community, offering a wordless but deeply cinematic meditation on connection and survival. Flow serves as both a visually stunning narrative and a timeless fable. The story unfolds in a post-human world where nature reclaims its dominance. Evidence of humanity lingers in the form of submerged structures and a colossal cat monument, which is never really explained, but I now kind of see that the meaning is that this world is more about the animals and nature rather than the humans. So who knows where the humans are at, but they don't really matter in this story. The focus is squarely on the protagonist, who is a solitary cat with a lot of facial expressions to say the least. The rising waters force the cat to leave its isolated existence behind, symbolizing the need to transcend ego and embrace collective effort. Which I'm telling you guys, I had to watch this film at least twice to kind of get the whole experience of it, especially with no dialogue or words said in the film. You really have to pay attention to the movements, the way the story moves forward, and even how the story unfolds. So now I get why they chose a black cat to be the main protagonist. Along the way, the cat encounters other animal survivors. Together, this unlikely crew must navigate the flooded landscape, testing their bonds and cooperation as they confront challenges. And of course, just as you would expect, these animals react with first impressions the way you would expect them to act. The cat is kind of a little withdrawn from the dog and doesn't know how to react when it comes to seeing the dog. The dog is constantly excited to see the cat and also does certain things to annoy the cat. So it made it pretty realistic on how they would react when they first see each other. Through subtle gestures like sharing food or standing up to a threatening flock, the film emphasizes the power of unity in the face of crisis. The film's themes resonate deeply with today's pressing global issues such as climate change and social division. Through the animal's journey, Flow reflects the hope that life can flourish again if we learn to see ourselves as part of a collective whole. Kind of like that whole concept of coexist that I constantly see on the bumpers of cars and trucks. Not to sound cheesy or anything, because this movie for sure is not cheesy or even over the top in its statement, but really we would get more done if we came together as a society or even put aside certain issues that we do have. Now let's talk about the animation, you guys, because visually Flow is a masterclass in animation, and it blurs the line between what seems like painted on the screen and lifelike detail. The director crafts a luminous, immersive world using long, fluid camera movements that seamlessly follow the characters from water to boat and beyond. And this animation I have been in love with since since I saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and we kind of saw the same type of animation in The Wild Robot this past year, and I just love this style of animation. It feels not only beautiful and really luxurious, but it feels like you're watching a mural that's been painted just constantly move with motion. The animation replicates the unpredictability of life, creating a spontaneous, almost documentary type of feel to it. The environments are just gorgeous. From the lush greenery to the texture of rippling water, you for sure are captivated every single second or minute that you're watching it. The character design, particularly the animals, obviously as we're watching them, avoids hyper-realism. Instead, the stylized form allows for light and color to interact in ways that enhance their expressive qualities. So you're not watching a cartoon per se, but an animation that really reflects real life. Each species moves in ways authentic to its nature, and their subtle behaviors, curious glances, cautious movements add depth to their personalities and nuance. Notably, the film and its overly polished aesthetic, often seen in a large studio production, opts for a visual style that feels both grounded and emotionally evocative. Now, the strange thing about this is that when I was going into watching this film, I was thinking, okay, so since there's no dialogue, no words, or no humans or animals talking, how are we going to know what each animal's name is or any kind of personality that's developed by them? I thought maybe since there's going to be no names, it might be a little tough for some of these animals to show who they truly are. And boy, was I wrong, because the personalization or lack thereof of their names doesn't really matter, because you see how each animal acts and it does reflect some of the species, but also you start to really feel a personal connection with some of these animals because of their survival instincts and what's going on all around them with this massive flood. Now, I do got to talk about the score because the music does play a part in this movie as well. The music of Flow complements its visuals with equal subtlety and power. Co-composed by the director and this guy, I'm gonna point down here because I do not want to butcher his name. The director's name was hard to pronounce enough as it is. The score leans into minimalism, creating a rich atmosphere that alternates between tension and tranquility. The soundtrack enhances the film's dreamlike quality without overwhelming its carefully constructed soundscape. Natural sounds like the rustling of leaves and the gentle lapping of water meld seamlessly with the music, amplifying the emotional resonance of key moments. It's no wonder why people, especially in the comments of the trailer on YouTube or anywhere else, were saying, oh yeah, so they made a movie about the video game Stray. It's because this experience and this film is so beautiful in its animation that you gotta think, man, this is like playing a video game. Because video games have really enhanced their graphics over the years compared to animated films, sadly. But now that we're getting into that landscape and we're having more films like this, it's really neat to see. Now, one standout sequence does feature the cat and let's just say another animal, I don't want to give any spoilers away, going to the top of this pillar. And once they get there, something beautiful happens, but also kind of depicting life, what's kind of the inevitable when it comes to any animal or human being. And as that sequence starts to unravel, you start to hear the score, and everything that happens is just like a beautiful experience as you're just watching it. It uses music sparingly, but invites viewers to engage more deeply with its visual and thematic elements. Proving that, yes, going back to the beginning and the start of this review, you don't need dialogue to have an excellent type of animated film that's gonna engage with the audience. And here are my final thoughts, you guys. This film is a remarkable achievement, a rare film that speaks to contemporary issues while offering a transcendent cinematic experience. Its balance of realism and stylization, coupled with its universal themes of cooperation and resilience, creates a poignant reflection on the human condition, told entirely through the actions of animals. And you guys should probably know this already, but in case you don't, I'm a huge lover of cats as well as dogs. Okay, I'm not gonna leave dogs out of it, but I love both animals, and you start to see more of the cat's perspective, which is very unique, but also some of the other animals along with the dog. The director's ability to immerse viewers in this post-human world is reminiscent of the exploration nature of video games, where players must piece together a story through observation and interaction. This sense of active engagement makes Flow feel as much of a journey for the audience as it is for the characters. In a world increasingly divided, at least speaking in terms of just being in the US and all of our political landscape and beliefs and religion and all those things, this film offers a hopeful message. Storms will pass and life will continue to flourish if we embrace unity and selflessness. Don't miss a moving film like this, you guys. It's an unforgettable reminder of the beauty and resilience of life. This one for sure blew my mind and I loved every minute of it. Surprisingly, it has no dialogue, but yet it was so moving and beautiful. With all that being said, I'm gonna give Flow 5 flames out of 5 and a Jacey Flames approved rating.
Oh my God! Wow!
Flow is a distinctive and visually striking film that blends rough, tense aesthetics with a surprising depth of tenderness often absent in larger productions nowadays. This silent fable about survival pulls viewers into its world with remarkable intensity, leaving them in awe of its craftsmanship and its singular vision. With its pure and focused approach to storytelling, this movie stands out as a beautiful and subtly thought-provoking cinematic experience. Now, as I previously said, this film is showing currently on Fandango at Home, Apple TV, and Amazon Prime for rent, but I beg you guys, please watch this film. It did not cost much, and trust me, if you love animated movies and even just animals, you will love this one. Alright guys, so have you seen Flow yet, or are you looking forward to seeing it? Did you even hear about it? Because this was one of those films that really flew under the radar with its limited release and all those things. Now, what was the last animated film you watched that you loved? Let me know in the comments below. Last thing before I do go, you guys, please make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. My name's JC from JC Flicks, and until next time, I'm out.